So as these were all coalescing together, it came to my perspective that rock and roll could be the Northern European influence of the Promethean type, taking matters into their own hands, not getting caught up in whether life is good or bad and fighting for the good and against the bad of the Levant or the Judeo-Christian Muslim bent, but also not as the Eastern retreat within, complete retreat within, considering the world an illusion, but an active participation in the resolution of the stress or tension created by being a self-actualizing individual. So I saw rock and roll as people participating in the active assertion and processing of their tendencies, whether they're positive or negative, taking matters into their own hands, a very self-responsible, self-accountable stance or posture in relationship to life. Now, this is not to say that the individual artists don't have neurotic issues. Sure they do. But in my own mind, I was bringing a synthesis to many of these ideas. For myself, this year, I want to pat myself on the back for having accomplished the reading schedule that I wanted to accomplish, which was James Joyce's works. And this entailed a tremendous amount of extra study for me because Joyce entails a great deal. And I feel, with the help of other authors that have also covered his works, I've got a fairly good grasp, something that is equivalent to my nature anyway. I understand that we can reach past and go beyond. However, for me, I feel there's a point where there's too much taken on and it's more of a burden, an extra weight, baggage that is not necessary on our path, our individual path or journey. And so I may not be a Joycean scholar or anywhere close to some of the immense intellects that have encompassed his works. Just at my own level, I feel an equivalency in my studies. And as far as that Native American story that that Ebert recounts in his Campbell lecture, I genuinely feel that I am one that slays dragons of an internal nature rather than an external nature. And I'm still trying to wrap my my heart and mind around this. My father's very extroverted, very externally oriented, task-oriented, accomplishment, goal-oriented. Not that he doesn't have a depth experience, a deep inner experience as well, just that that's the way he's oriented outwardly. And I have very little tolerance for a great deal of the exterior encounters I have. In some instances, I have a tremendous amount of patience, a tremendous amount of participation. On another level, I have very strong boundaries that I don't have a problem asserting. And And I still feel that this is just another aspect of my own life pulse and destiny making itself be known as a guide, directing my life in the direction it's going. So I don't overly analyze it or overly judge it. Because I know what's going on within me, oftentimes at a depth level much more encompassing, much more life-affirming than the exterior goings-on and what the exterior asks or demands of me. I can take it or leave it, so to say. I've had a couple near-death experiences, and I realized I don't have to be here. I choose to be here. So it's up to me to choose the life I have to live. That was a tough one. That was pretty hairy-carry at times, you know, because I had really dedicated and entrenched myself in lives of others who really had no concern for me other than as a tool for their betterment and their furtherment, their own ego-centered self-aggrandizement. And hey, I don't blame them. I understand we all have a life pulse, we all have a destiny and a need to fulfill something, whether it be for the better or worse. It's there. So in the beginning it was pretty difficult for me to integrate and really assimilate that into my being, but I realized that was because I had strayed. I didn't stray from my path. My path had come to a fork in the road, so to say, and I had invested a great deal of my identity in those relationships, and when it was time to change, I had to face that great unknown. And you know, it was a stepping off point, it was a maturing point, it was a you know, that old saying, separates the mice from the men, you know. It was of mice and men kind of ordeal. So this year has been good. My physical conditioning has gotten to the point where I have developed and integrated and assimilated a physical conditioning and physical therapy, daily physical therapy, that has really changed me in a lot of ways, as well as my studies that I've done. And I'm still not sure of the role that is developing, but I'm just going with it. I'm just doing my thing. And one of the important things that I learned a few years ago was that in order to integrate some of the, really understand some of the authors that I was reading, instead of turning it into my own, I actually had to embrace physical conditioning to help my body. It changed my biology, this metabolic rate and all this stuff, my metabolism, and it enabled me to assimilate what these authors were saying and writing about, because it's part of their experience. So that was crucial. It's a crucial aspect.